So they'll be calling you a radical. So we're going to talk about your favorite fucking subject. Fucking nuclear bailouts. Fucking. Oh, God. Yeah, break your fucking sign. Sign. I'll go slow. I mean, I just had a conversation with somebody who's watched my videos from the beginning about activism and where we're at. So, the latest to jump on board on the bailout is Nebraska. They've given money to the nuclear energy crime syndicate because they say that small nuclear reactors are renewable. They're the opposite of fucking renewable. The most dangerous fucking thing. It's just fucking free money. It's fucking nuclear bailout. People don't understand. Under the congressional act called Price-Anderson, they don't have to pay it back. You just hand them free money. Fucking Tim says up at Corvallis, he says you're seeing young fucking guys driving around in Bugattis and fucking Lamborghinis. That's new scale. Utah's fucking 300 millions all went to them. 50 fucking more million, then 100 normally. Just they don't have to pay it back. They're not making anything. They're not going to build it. You know, we're supposedly testing 12 at Idaho National Lab. They tested those in the fucking 50s and the 60s. They blew up. Santa, they blew up. The same nuclear reactor. Oh, that was a long time ago. How about on the Russian Sea? Fucking on the White Sea in Russia. 8/8/29 blew up. Killed the 8 lead nuclear physicists and all of it. Killed them. That's what's going to happen here if they do test. They're not going to test shit. They're not going to do shit. So, down by the fucking Springsteen makes me sick. What's that piece of shit calls himself? Bon Jovi? Fucking, all the names are same. Fuck. It's disgusting. Only the names are changed. So, New Jersey, are you going to bail them out? We'll find out in the next couple of days. So, the good news. Well, I'm going to have a party. I'm going to celebrate. Probably do it in front of the Mormon Temple in Salt Lake because I'm protesting there. Because Utah's all in SMRs. We're the first ones, municipalities. Fucking Indian Point shuts down on the 30th. It's one of the greatest fucking accomplishments in fucking grassroots activist history. Fuck Status Queen Cuomo and his 7.6 billion, you stupid fuckers in New York. What dumb fuck. The city that never sleeps. Oh, we're an activist. So a guy called me from New Mexico. So I want to tell you, I want to thank you. Just the greatest subject matter in the history of mankind that you've tackled. He says, you know, a real community organizer down there. Yeah. He says, I talked to a woman, PB, the water girl. Yeah, I know her. She giving homeless people a dish of fucking water for their dog. Yeah, that's a fucking activism. Fuck, that's the opposite of activism. So, New Jersey's going to bail them out, are you? Fuck, why not? Kill yourselves, you stupid motherfuckers. Clean, one word in the anti-nuclear energy fight. One fucking word. One word. You don't have to Arnie Gundershill it, the phony fucker. The nuance, that's called fucking controlled opposition. He works for the industry. So does Keldicott's just a book fucking. So her own husband called me, her ex-husband called me, he says, you know, Kevin, she's a second-hand movie star, but she hasn't a clue. I know that. Don't use the F word. That's what they're supposing. I'm sitting next to Dr. Scheer. So, let's talk about the whole international bailout through the IAEA you pay for. Federal Price-Anderson, they get more fucking pork than all fucking... You take... The United States government stimulates 13 different energies. You take the other 12, you times them by 12, times them by 12 again, you won't even get to the fucking nuclear energy subsidy, the Department of Nuclear Energy. This is how much federal pork they get. How about how much international pork they get? It's never enough for these fuckers. Now they go to the state houses, house by house. The first one was in New York. I fought it tooth and nail. Status Queen Cuomo, bank bailout on chemo, and you dumb fucker. The taxpayers don't vote on any of these. So these lobbyists go into these houses, and there's no fucking resistance because you got one person. I'm one man. You know, I'm in the California house. I'm in the Idaho house. I'm in the Utah house against teams of fucking lawyers. Well, by the way, while I'm full of cancer. Fighting them tooth and nail. The Ohio fucking bailout. Fucking the only one, so the FBI and the corruption, these lobbyists fucking bribe these politicians. Pure bribery. You don't believe me? Look at fucking, the only FBI office that's got any fucking conscience was the Cleveland office. They go in Ohio and bust the fuckers on the bribes. This exact bribe situations going on in New Jersey. It's going on in New York. It's going on in Nebraska. It's going on in Connecticut. It's going on in Utah. I caught them. I proved it all. They don't care. Fuck, they're willing degenerate, hell and degenerate to kill themselves. It's disgusting. You know, so I had to explain my terminology, my activist. I'm being kettled. I'm being throttled. Hello, that's fucking obvious as a scar. You used to fucking Google dead tide pools. You used to get the most subject matter in the world, that salmon collapse, the most important subject matter in the world in the history of mankind. You get Kevin Blanch. Now you don't. Fucking your Lord and Savior, fucking Trump. He's the one that fucking allowed fucking, and then the left fucking jumps on it. Don't raise your voice. Don't be angry. This panty painter fucking, it's like Black Lives Matter steals the whole anti-fucking police brutality movement from the Million Mouse and profits. That's how they play. That's how they fucking work. So they've kettled me. Fucking internet kettle. I'm the guy that termed that fucking thing. They throttled me. You could pay to play. Just they got filters on. They couldn't get rid of me. My doctor says it best. He says, Kevin, when you're in the bone marrow transplant, he says, you predicted your own cancer, whatever. He says, fuck, you're going to be the next Rachel Carson. He says, they fucking all backed off. There was a stack of requests this big in there when I shut down San Onofre from the Bone Marrow Transplant Center. Leaked all that out. They did all this historic work. He says, they backed off because you didn't die. So they hired teams of trolls to fucking slander me. All fucking federal crimes, state crimes against the law. Illegal. I was in critical condition. But it's the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate, a.k.a. the Untouchables. They're bribes. In New Jersey, they bribed them. I caught them in Utah. Utah's the first municipality in the world to fucking fund these SMR downwinders. The people should be resisting the most, just like in fucking those idiots in Oregon. Fuck the people that should be resisting Fukushima more than anybody. What's Fukushima? Up is down, salmon fucking fishermen, it's complete. Fishermen can't fish, skiers who can't ski, surfers can't, it's all a cliche, you don't believe me? Fucking, they're all dressing up in their Patagonia fucking pants, got their fucking expensive rod, they're in the club, they don't go fishing, it's like skiers, go right here, I live here. Go to fucking Basic. They're dressed up in their retro beautiful, they can't ski. Go to fucking PB, watch the surfers in, they can't fucking surf, that takes work. You know, they got the car, they got the fucking outfit, fat fucking surfers, think about that whole fucking thing, they can't surf. Good luck to you. So I'll explain. The greatest activist, this has happened before. To who? Closing walls and ticking clocks. Are you part of the fucking cure? Or are you part of the disease? You're our part of the fucking disease, not our small teeny army. Shoot a fucking soup can off my fucking head. Yeah, it happened to the greatest activist artist who ever fucking lived. Michelangelo, Annika, the great activist that I met in the Nevada test site with Megan Rice's mom. The club, the team. Kevin Blanch, the dandelion, versus the fucking Royal Bear Monsanto Roundup killers. Kevin. I used to be, I was a beast, and I was an anti-nuclear activist. Fighting against the machine. Oh, these Ukrainian girls. So get this. In the Ukraine, on the 35th anniversary of the Chernobyl disaster, the Ukraine president announces they're going all in SMRs. It gets more insane by the fucking minute. Kevin. I'm in the Nevada test site fucking protesting. Megan Rice and crew introduced me to this girl from the Ukraine. I'm like, whoa, most beautiful looking, whoa, take your breath away. Speaks 5 languages fluently. Start talking to her. Whoa, she's an anti-nuclear activist, one of the original Femen. She's fucking genius. I'm like, whoa. Whoa. Then we start talking. She's like, whoa. I thought all you fucking American sheep were for this fucking morons. She says, I got into the United States. The reason I got in, had to get out. Both my brothers died. My sister died of cancer. I had to get the fuck out. I couldn't get in. I says, yeah, we were taught you guys were all idiots and fucking your Eastern Europeans were pathetic, you know. Whoa. She says they sponsored a bill through Las Vegas for pole swingers. So that's how I got in. She says, Kevin, I'm so in love with you for one reason. She's being a smartass about this. This is how educated she was. You're the modern day Michelangelo. You're his sculpture. He must have sculpted you. You have arms like a Michelangelo sculpture. Come here. I got to show you this. Should have got this down before. If I can reach it. It's hanging on the wall. My big, beautiful fucking house. That's her and I. I traced this in the window with one hand. I traced this. That's my art studio right there. You can look. That's looking out the window. That's that little house that's right there. That's perfect. That's exactly what I traced us both. You know, my ear's a little misplaced, but that's us. Kevin. I have bruises on my fucking leg. She called me one day. I said, you're a pole swinger. Of course she did. No, I know what it is. I know what it is. Leukemia. Don't say that. She came home, went to the Huntsman Luxury Good of Death. John Huntsman to Kevin Blanche. Well, you know these little SMRs were funding all over. One blew up in Russia on the White Sea. You can look it up. It's online. Yeah, I'm the guy that collected the data. Don't want you screaming your head off. She went to the Luxury Good of Death, Huntsman Chemical. I went to LDST State. I was given 2 months to live. Think about this incredible story. It killed her within 90 days. When do you throw down? So I had to explain the term panty painter. I'm the guy that invented that term, panty painter. They used to call them diaper painters. Michelangelo's the greatest activist artist who ever lived. When he saw Da Vinci, who was a pedophile, spit on him. So you know the MoMA is being run by pedophiles. You don't believe me? Leon Black, Epstein. Fucking Jeffrey Dubin. So look up Dubin. Jeffrey wanted to marry one of the daughters, the little girls. Jeffrey used to come over to the house and read Epstein. Yeah, Linda Epstein. That's Sir Paul McCartney's wife. She died of fucking cancer young. Let it be, fuck him. Yeah, she's an Epstein. They changed her name to Eastman. That's what they all did. It's the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate, the cult. Let it be. Incredible fucking story how they pulled this off. She died of cancer. Michelangelo. The Sistine Chapel, the paintings all over the ceiling. They're painted over. Do you know they're all painted over? They were nudes, all nudes. Yeah, he painted them. He didn't land his back, he stood. He used to spit on Da Vinci. Dubin. Jeffrey Toobin wrote the 9. I think about that piece of shit. You know about his video. I haven't seen it, but from what I hear, it's more like the 3. You Freudian fuck. Like Michelangelo, the greatest activist artist who ever lived, he used to spit on fucking Da Vinci. He was a plaster. He's the one that I read a thing when I was a kid about. I taught myself how to plaster on my grandfather's the millionaire fucking Mormon socialist who required me to learn a trade in those Brigham City, Utah, white sand pits. The statue at Old Town San Diego, I was required to give back. I don't know why my cousins and my brother's a crook, just ripped me off. I taught myself how to plaster at 16 years old. It was, watch me go with a Hawking trial. The greatest activist artist who ever lived, Michelangelo. I got to go in his bunker under the tree. He hid for 40 years. They wanted him. No one knew his fucking name. His own friends painted over those paintings. They used to call them the diaper painters. I'm the one, me and another artist in New York in the day, changed it to panty painters. That's exactly what the whole fucking country is, a bunch of panty painters. The media, black and yellow media, fucking, which I termed, all these things, I've coined so many fucking terms, it is incredible. Yet, kettle me, I'll kettle you. Internet kettling, throttle me, I'll throttle you. Try to put Kevin Blanche back in the toothpaste tube. Good luck. Try to fucking put that fucking Kevin Blanche lightning back in the fucking bottle. Well, I swung my bat behind my back and I broke Pandora's fucking... I didn't break Pandora's fucking bottle. It was a bottle, not a box. The new currency broke Pandora's fucking bottle. You can try to put the internet, that's how they did it. 3 years ago, almost to the day, they kettled me. Used to Google on the thing, Phil, nothing but me, the most important scientist, artist, activist, artist in the fucking human history. Impoverished, in poverty, fucking open heart surgery, gallbladder gone. What a fucking story. Michelangelo, nobody even fucking spoke his name for 200 fucking years. He was asked. Remember his perfect fucking stone he got in his Leopita, his first one? He called it his perfect. He called it his 10. Later in life, he says there are no 10s. His second Leopita at the Duomo, it's there. It's half done. He kicked it over. He broke his fucking arm. He was so frustrated for years. Fucking, they tried to kill him. They're all painted over. Every painting he ever did in his life, except for one, is painted over. They were nudes. His sculptures, well, you're not the greatest painter. How do you know? They're all painted over. His own friends. His own so-called friends. Free radicals versus the Post-Ignorance Project. Asymmetric to the Manhattan Project. For all curses spite that I was ever born to set this right. But you're the greatest sculptor who ever fucking lived. Greatest activist artist who ever lived, Michelangelo. Who ever lived. That's who mattered me. My wet nurse came from a family of Masons. Not those Masonics, real Masons. They split their own. I'm a rock mason. I'm a plaster. I'm an artist. He mentored me. The ugly art, Vincent van Gogh, that ugly fucking sunflower, this is most important. Dandelions, the new sunflowers. So they bail them out in Nebraska. We'll find out in the next couple of days down by the refinery. Bruce Springsteen sold us down the river. Had a wife and kid in Ogden, Utah, Jack. I went out for a drive. I decided to go back. Me and my daughter went to that. These people promised me they would drop a fucking banner on the front row. I'm sitting up in the obstructive views, which are the best seats in Madison Square Garden. There it is. Big sign on the front row. Fukushima, Japan. Kevin Blanchard's red and white right in Bruce Springsteen's face. Where's he? On Broadway. Sitting with Barry Antoinette Obama. The guy who covered up Fukushima, the greatest criminal in human history till Trump came along. Trump could have all he had to do one time was mention Fukushima. One time. He'd still be president. What a fucking creep. I always knew what a creep that fucker is. He doesn't know. I asked him right to his face in Salt Lake and in fucking New York about Fukushima. You get in a fucking car wreck, you don't stop driving. You do if it kills you. Fukushima is all you have to say. That's all you have to say. So you're going to bail them out. The greatest story in the death of the Pacific Ocean. It's collapse. It's not opinion anymore. First you hypothesize the knowledge, then you do work. Michelangelo, all's fucking art is a form of communication using the genre of the day. They will try to fucking hide you. They will smash you. Oh, he's gay. He's gay. No, he's not. He was the opposite of gay. He was in love with the poet, the writer. People say that about me. You know, because I've lived alone for so long. My mom, before G killed her, murdered my father, all cursed in spite, nuked him to death in a cage in the Nevada test site, and drafted him Marine. What a beast. Semper Fi, he was, not me. Fucking murderers. The nuclear energy, the greatest subject matter in human history, the death of the Pacific Ocean. All acutely. Record returns on the fucking salmon. Chinook salmon go to sea for 5 years. They'll collapse in 2016. You seen these numbers? And that's with the fucking Army Corps engineers lying. Tim Martin's on the fucking boots on the fucking ground. Cost him everything. I'll post a picture, the world record he caught in 2010. The world record by many times, catch and release. Photographs of a stillhead on the road. Right before Fukushima, the winter of 2010, right before 2011. It's all cute. It's unarguable fucking science. It's unarguable art. Maybe I can hide in a bunker and fucking redo my finest fucking art at fucking candlelight. For Please, death, come to me now. I cannot do this anymore. I cannot fucking do it. My mind is tortured. I have been fucking... Holy fucking Moses. He was 88. Huh. What a beast. Physical, Freudian, fucking the greatest artist who ever fucking lived. The greatest piece of art that ever fucking was. Believe it, huh? I mean, when you see it, it'll physically make you cry. And if you understand stone and marble and rock, like I do, I hand chiseled the Masonic Temple in 2009. I hung from a rope in Ogden, Utah. Leslie's Hodge is one of the most important buildings. They wanted to tear it down. I hung from a rope and hand chiseled and sculpted and brought that fucking thing. It can't be done. One guy, not a crew, not a fucking Diego Rivera fucking lazy. No, one guy, me. Me. No, we from the sea, the ecology. I hand chiseled it, brought it back. They said they put a black. Bernie Allen, Randy Richards betrayed me, but that's what people do around here. They just like they did him. The greatest truths ever. He fucking screamed at you. The Catholic Church is being hijacked by these self-righteous panty painters. He went crazy. He was writing a heresy letter. That letter that was going all over, they wanted him dead. Going after the pedos. Going after them just like I have. Fucking me and Jackson Pollock. Kevin Blanche, the soup can flipper. Jackson Pollock, the dripper. He was born here. Look what they did to him, but he got in. He kicked the door to them. Just remember, Jackson Pollock, how'd he get in? He got invited, finally, to Anderson Vanderbilt Cooper's Granddaddy's The Public Be Damned, Oligarchy TV, one by Jetstream, two by cable TV. Right at the party, he walked over and pissed in the fucking fireplace, right in front of God and everybody. He kicked the fucking tables over. It's like, Jesus, oh, let it be. Fucking don't raise your voice, kettle me, I'll kettle you. We from the sea, the greatest fucking activist, fucking artist, the greatest scientist, the greatest PhD, fucking whoever lived. Annika, before she died, I'm holding her hand. I watched him load her in the body bag. I watched my dad be loaded in the body. They died the same day. Different years, but the same day. January 11th. What do you want me to do? Just tell me. I'll live my life. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. Just tell me. Keep fighting him, Kevin. Fight him to the death. Keep fighting these nuclear industry mass murders. You keep fighting them. You're it. Frieda Eisenblau in Vienna, Austria, on the 200th anniversary of Waterloo. She invited me to her house. I had no clue. It was her request, not mine. She was worried about talking to Kevin Blanche because of her English. She says, well, I'm kind of worried about it. Pravad, the nuclearized documentary filmmaker, he's there. He took me over to her house. She says, I know your story. I know your father's being nuked to death. I met Helen Caldicott when I drove across when I was a teenage girl. She's a fake. You know, she's a phony. They're not anti-nuclear activists. I grew up in the same town as Hitler. I knew what he was. I had to crawl on my hands and knees at 14 years old through the fucking woods, eat roots, hiding from him. He was going to kill me. I got out to fucking England, the British guy, and then I started digging. I worked for a society. My father was a famous doctor. They gave me a job at the nuclear propaganda machine in London. She says, I used to snoop through freaking records. And I found these fucking retracted records. And that's when my light went on. I went home. And I went door to door. I says, if you have no answer for your waste on your dairy farm, on your farm, would you still? You know, she shuts it down. Kevin, you are the tip of the spear. I know your story. You're it. She was full of cancer, dying. She didn't tell anyone, not even me. But she knew. She was passing the torch. Don't you dare drop this spear. And she just went off on me for 4 hours solid. Just drilled me. First question I want to ask you, Kevin Blanche, I know your story. How much energy does it take for a nuclear reactor? I says, they take more energy to stay open than they produce because they have to cool their spent fuel pools and heat them. That's all I had to hear. You know. You're it. I knew you were it. Intuitively. It's like I use song lyrics. Why? Because when a writer and an artist is in the zone, he doesn't go conscious. He goes intuitive. Einstein. The intuitive mind, it can see. It can see. That's what great artists do. They run off the... So when they're making these great lyrics, I use them. They're running purely off the intuitive mind, the crazy train. They all sold us out. They sold their fucking intuitive mind. They sold it. Same in basketball. When they go into the fucking zone, when they're on the court and they're not consciously thinking, that's when the great art comes out. I know that. I run pure intuitively. So kettle me, I'll kettle you. I got the brakes on me. Put me in the greatest fucking, probably most accomplished activist in human history since Michelangelo, since Jesus Christ. Yeah, the activists. Kicking over the fucking tables, taking on the usury, the fucking money changers. That's what Utah is. Buy here, payday. Fucking Joel Osteen, Jesus Joy. The country's completely the opposite, and then they call themselves Christians. I mean, something like 75% of the populace of the fucking United States will identify themselves with some kind of so-called Christianity when they're completely the opposite of that. First, they come for the craftsmen. Hello. Bail them out in fucking Jersey. Fucking, it's renewable in Nebraska. Fucking Idaho bailed them out. Utah bailed them out. Ohio fucking... They bailed him out, and it took the fucking AG, it took the FBI to arrest people, put them in jail, and they still tried to give him the bail. Status King Cuomo. Trump and Cuomo are the same fucking nuclear mob. Fucking, it's the nuclear crimes at Mike Tyson. Well, I'm being promoted by a bunch of mobsters and criminal killers and murderers. They own all the nuclear industry. The nuclear industry, that's who promotes me. They're criminals, they're murderers. They're the cult, Mike Tyson. How'd you like to fight that fucking guy in the day? I never raped that girl, Mike Tyson. I never raped her. But I used to walk around with a chicken on him. I had a chicken for a pet when I was a kid in fucking the Bronx. And fucking, I grew up so hardcore you don't even know. Some guy fucking took my chicken and cut his fucking head off when I was a fucking little boy in front of me. I beat him to fucking death, and he was fucking a grown man, and I was a teenage kid. I was a little kid. I want God. He takes care of it. He was an anti-nuclear. For the Ark of Justice. For the Ark of Justice. They've hijacked everything. Greatest event in human fucking history. Bail them out in Jersey. Bail them out in Connecticut. Bail them out in fucking New York. Bail them out. Keep giving them fucking money. They're going to go to your local PTA and have a fucking bake sale. Not me. I would have never believed it.